Shavua Tov and a good Vach, Rabbi Kovacs here. Yesterday in Mishnah Yomi, we started chapter 8 of Sanhedrin. Today we're doing Mishnayot Gimel Dalid. In chapter 8, we've established this Ben Surer Umore, this wayward, rebellious son. He's eating and drinking indulgently in a way that's going to be addictive and cause a bad habit. Now Mishnah Gimel adds an important detail. Gonov Mishel Aviv, he stole the money from his father. So if the son used his own money to buy meat and wine and be indulgent and lead to addiction, that's one thing. That is not actually a Ben Sora More. He has to steal the money. He has to steal the money from his own father. The Mishnah is V'achol b'rshut Aviv, and he ate it in his father's house. Or Mishel Acherim, he stole money from other people, V'achol b'rshut Acherim, and he ate somewhere else. Or Mishel Acherim, he stole money from other people, V'achol b'rshut Aviv, he brought the meat and wine home and ate it in his family home. Einu Nase Ben Sora Mora. None of these cases become a halachic wayward son. Ad sheyignov Mishel Aviv, until he steals from his own father. V'yochel b'rshut Acherim, but he's eating outside of his home, he's eating somewhere else without his parents' knowledge. The idea being, as we mentioned yesterday, that perhaps alcoholism is less among religious Jewish people because we use wine and food in a celebration, in a simcha, in a way to thank Hashem, not in a way to be indulgent and addictive, God forbid, typically. So if he's stealing from his parents, then he's eating outside the home where his parents can't give him any feedback or any correction. That's the kind of behavior that's going to become addictive and become a pattern of behavior and lead him to more trouble in the future. The Mishnah concludes, Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda Omer, he says, Ad sheyignov mishel aviv u'mishel imo. It's only when he stole from both parents and then bought the food and wine that he becomes a Ben Sora More. And the idea being, when he grows up, he's going to continue stealing to support his addiction, to support his habit, and eventually come to shed blood in order to get the money to further his addictions. And the Mishnah will actually explain tomorrow that the reason a Ben Sora More is executed is because he will eventually come to murder and spill blood in armed robbery to further his gluttony. Let's go on to Mishnah Daled. Haya aviv rotze v'imo eina rotze. What if the father wants to bring him to court, the mother does not? Or aviv eina rotze imo rotze. The father doesn't want to bring him and the mother does want to. Eino nase Ben Sora More. He does not become a halachic rebellious son, unless both parents bring him. And the Gemara explained, it's clear in the Psukim, it's both the father and mother are involved. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, he adds, Im lo haita imo re'uya aviv. If the father is not matching the mother, if the mother, is not matching the father, really because the Psukim say he learns out that their voice, they speak in one voice, that they should be similar in stature, similar in voice. Einu nase ben Sora Mora. Then according to Rabbi Yehuda, they don't become ben Sora Mora unless the mother and father are really very similar in appearance and voice and mannerism. So again, there's one opinion this never actually happened because it's very unlikely to happen, at least according to Rabbi Yehuda. The Mishnah adds more qualifications. Haya echad mehem gidem. If one of them is missing a hand, o chigir, or unable to walk, o ilem, or cannot speak, o suma, or blind, o cherish, or deaf, if one of the parents have these disabilities, eino nase ben Sora More, he can't become a ben Sora More, shnamar, because the pasuk says in Devarim chapter 21, tafsu bo aviv ve'imo, his father and mother grab a hold of them, and take him to court. Volo gidmin, so somebody with a missing hand can't do this. Hatzioto, they take him out. Volo chigrin, not someone who's unable to walk. V'amru, and they tell him. V'lo ilmin, and not someone who's mute. B'neinu zeh, our son, this son, lo sumin, so a blind person can't say that. Einenu shemea bekolenu v'lo chershin. He's not. The parents tell the court he's not listening to our voice. So somebody who can't talk, if one of the parents can't talk, they can't make their son a halachic ben Sora More. Now the Mishnah relates the process that happens here. Matrin bo, his parents warn him bifnei shlosha, in front of three. Now really the warning can be in front of two, and then if the son steals money again from his parents and then goes and eats and drinks somewhere else, then those two witnesses can haul him into court in front of three. That's the shlosha, and that court of three can administer malkut, or whipping, because he's transgressed the warning of his parents. Chazar v'kilkel, if he goes back and does this again, after he's been whipped by the first court, and after he's been warned by the parents, and after the parents have seen this pattern of behavior in the first place, Nidon be'esri mishlosha, he's judged by 23. And then at that point, if he's liable, he can be executed with skila. But Eino Niskol, he can't actually be executed, Achihu Sham Shlosha Rishonim, unless the original 3 judges who sentenced him to Malchus, to whipping, originally are there as well. Shnamar B'nei Zeh, as it says, this son of ours, Zehu Shaloka Bifnechem. This is the same son that already has this pattern and already got whipping once to try to prevent him from sinning, and here he is sinning again. The Mishnah adds another procedural detail, Baruch Achlo Nigmar Dino, if the son ran away before the verdict was reached, V'acharkach Hikiv Zakan Tachton, and then afterwards he grew the lower beard, as we discussed in Mishnah Aleph in this chapter, Potter, he's actually off the hook. The sentencing, the finishing of the court case has to happen during those first 3 months of his, reaching legal age and starting to grow the lower beard. Imish Nigmar Dino Baruch, but if he'd already been sentenced during that time period when he's eligible to become Metzora Morer, and then he ran away before growing the lower beard, he gave Zakan and Tachton, and then he grew Chayiv. He could still be executed even if he'd been on the run for months or years, because the entire judicial process did take place during the eligible time period, as we mentioned in Mishnah Aleph. Yishar Kochachem, Shavua Tov.